Tyrese Gibson. Let me give you some truthful information about South Africa that you do not know, that you are not aware of. In South Africa, the majority are blacks, the minority are whites. In the United States, as you know, the minority are blacks and the majority are whites. But do you know what is similar in South Africa as well as in the United States? What is similar or the same is the fact that white people, despite the fact that they are a minority, control the economic and control everything, land inside South Africa. They're a minority, but they control everything. In the United States, the whites are a majority, and they still control everything. You said that there is a white slavery going on in South Africa. That has never happened. The blacks in South Africa are too scared to do that. They don't have the courage, they don't have the guts, they don't have the will, the determination to do that. As a matter of fact, the propaganda that's been put towards black South Africans has gone to a point where they instead attack the blacks from other parts of Africa, thinking that they're the ones still in the jobs. Meanwhile, the economic power is controlled by whites, a minority in South Africa. You've heard of xenophobia, where black South Africans would get up and just kill black nationalists or blacks from other countries because they think, and they have been told, that they are the ones stealing their jobs. Meanwhile, the economy is controlled by a few white minorities in South Africa. AfriForum, a white civil rights group, is the one pushing the agenda or the idea of white slavery in South Africa, because EFF and some strong black South Africans are fighting to gain more land because they're a majority, and it is only right for the majority to have more land. You don't know that. You're not aware of it. And because you want to speak in favor of white people, because of what is going on in the United States of whites killing blacks, and you want to be the one that is speaking in favor of white people, you decide to make such stupid statement about South Africa, a country you know nothing about. You have no knowledge, no understanding of what is happening inside South Africa. A minority control all the resources inside South Africa, to the point that blacks are scared to even attack white people in South Africa. They'll rather attack black people who are not of South Africa, claiming that they are still in the jobs. But the economy is run by white people. They control it. As a matter of fact, the system is set up in the entire world that favors white people. It doesn't matter where they are in the world. They will always be in control. They will always be in charge. It's in favor of them. AfriForum, the white civil rights group that is pushing negative ideas about black South Africans who are trying to take over with the idea of white slavery. They do that. They spread propaganda. And their white counterparts in other countries are in favor of them because they don't want them to lose the land in South Africa. When blacks take control of the land in South Africa, then the whites in other nations will not gain from the resources of South Africa. The white structure system in the international world or international community has been put in place in the favor of white people. They control everything. Why do you think the Chinese are fighting so hard to be in control? Why do you think Russia and China are fighting so hard to defeat the United States so that they can be in control? Because the system favors them. Britain, France, Germany, United States, they control the entire world. I'm quite sure you don't know that, but they do. And the system is in favor of them. Wherever blacks go, they feel racism. They have been punished because they are blacks. In the United States, it happens. In Brazil, it happens. In South Africa, it happens. In China, it happens. All over the world, in Europe, it happens. Racism towards black people is a daily activity. Because you have gained some favor through your acting and music, and you don't want to lose a chance of losing money, you want to be the black person that is going to speak in favor of white people, and you bringing up something that is not truthful about South Africa. But I'm telling you this, Tyrese Gibson, whites in South Africa control South Africa 100%. But when EFF takes over, it's not going to be the same political game. They will not be favored because they are white. South Africa is a black nation and should be run by blacks. It's in the continent of Africa. The United States is no man's land. It was owned by the Indians, but whites came over and took it, bringing blacks and turning blacks as slaves. You know the history. So it's a no man's land. But South Africa is a country in Africa owned by blacks who are there, who are the majority, who have the right to control it. And if the whites are not satisfied, they could leave. But here in the United States, when they talk of racism, what do whites do? They tell blacks you could leave and go back to Africa, forgetting that they came from Europe. Isn't that ironic? That is the world we live in, Tyrese Gibson. So stop being a sellout just because you want some extra cash. Just stop being a sellout to your own black people because you want to eat and forget the rest of the other black people. It's time for blacks in the world to unite and speak against racism that has been going on for more than 400 years. It has been going on not just only in the United States, it's been going on all over the goddamn world. The continent of Africa is run by whites. They control shit. When they control the leaders of Africa, they control Africa. They control the economic power of Africa. You know, you don't know that, Tyrese Gibson. But you will say shit about white slavery happening in South Africa. It hasn't happened. It might happen someday, but it hasn't happened. It might happen in the future, but it hasn't happened. It hasn't happened because black people in general don't have the guts to do anything about it, especially blacks in South Africa. They could kill other blacks who are not South Africans, but they're too chicken to do anything about the white minority in South Africa because, well, the system is in place where if anything happens in the white minority in South Africa, the rest of the white nations will move in and take over and do more damage. And the blacks in the world can't do shit about it.